It's a fan fiction book that I'm going to show you. It's called Bobby Cinema's third Arrowverse and crossover and alternate series finale from The Big Bang Theory and Gotham bonus about the Gotham bonus and Legends of Tomorrow. Ray Palmer meets Superman 96 and two DC animated movies and the Big Bang Theory spinoff and alternate series finale. Well, here's my plot, so I will read to you. Bobby Cinema is going right to another. Is it right? Going to write another plot summaries and movie ideas for my new book. You remember that Bobby Cinema's 20 movie and TV plot summary ideas also include Bobby Cinema's TV and movie crossovers and Bobby Cinema's 103 most hottest celebrities in the world. Female celebrities in the world. I will come up with a new TV series into movies on a synopsis, and I will pitch to my readers to hear their opinions, what they think of my idea. I also want to inspire people to do what I do. Mostly book authors and screenwriters can pitch ideas or scripts to movie studios, TV networks, and literary agencies and tell us that we don't take unsolicited material. It means no new guys. There are plenty of ways to put the foot in your door. It'll be tough for Hollywood producers and executives to give us a chance. So I waited too long for me. But I never gave up. I found a way to put my foot in the door. Now it'll be up to you to get your foot in the door like I did. I will write a new movie or TV spin-off ideas and old TV series as an old sequel series like Veronica Mars or Sex and the City. It'll be up to you, and I like to hear your opinions of what you think, and tell me is these sequel series belong to the silver screen or TV. But here it goes. See you guys at the other end. The Superman Returns quote by ad libs. Is everyone all right? Everyone nodded, and Superman looks at Lois. Superman, are you all right? Lois is shocked and nodded. Is that really you? Lois says, is that really you? Were you expecting Spider-Man because he's in New York City? Well, I hope this experience that hasn't put you off flying. Statistically speaking, it's still the safest way to travel. Hi. Everyone in the stadium is cheering for him. Superman, Superman, Superman. I wonder if it's not too late to call my agent or my publicist for public appearances. Superman flies off. The Arrowverse, DC Legends of Tomorrow by Ray Palmer meets Legion of Superman's Earth 96. Earth 96. Pitch of the CW. Genre, action, comedy, mystery, synopsis. Gideon gets a distress call from Earth 96 and the Wave Rider. It is Clark Kent from 96. Since Earth 1 and Earth 38 has been merged together, called Earth Prime, Ray's doppelganger had a breacher ring that Cisco beamed for him. While he was in Earth Prime, Clark Kent came to the Wave Rider and summoned the Legends, but the Kent came from the Legends arrived and he needed Ray's help. He has a top mission for him, but his Lex Luthor is up to a new scheme. But since Ray looks like Clark, he can fill in for him. Clark's wife Lois and his son Jason are alive. He told him that you were coming and needs your help. Ray is shocked and awed. He may look like Clark in Superman, but Ray doesn't have any powers. Ray has a purple kryptonite. He can transfer some of those powers to Ray. Ray decides to help him out. Ray tells him the powers are temporary and will wear off in 2 weeks. He's got 2 weeks to find out what Lex is up to and stop a scheme. Clark and Ray transferred some of Clark's Kryptonian powers to Ray. Clark still has his powers, and Ray has his. But it's only going to wear off in 2 weeks. Nate and Sarah decide to go with Ray and Metropolis to help him out. Ray, Nate, and Sarah Clark reach in Earth 96. Ray heads to the space station. To begin his mission. Ray and Nate meet James Olsen's doppelganger from Supergirl. James already knows Clark's identity as Superman and helps him to get ready. He has a suit and Ray looks like Clark. Lex using explosives to destroy a bridge that's coming to Metropolis, but if it's too late for the bridge is destroyed, but the train is stopped before it gets to the bridge. Lex manages to rob the train to steal something from the train. They were transported to Star Labs. They were transported from Star Labs. Sorry meets Lois and looks like Nora Dark and their son, Jason, who's 6 years old, and visits them on the Daily Planet. Ray gives in the temptation, but he's Clark's doppelganger, so Lois already filled him in, and he knows that's Ray. Lois informed Nate and Ray and Jimmy that Lex's men stole some from the train that was going to Star Labs. Ray asked him what was in the train. It was a small explosive that could destroy a city. Star Labs from Central City built this device, but that transferred the explosive and asked Camille Hamilton to destroy it before it goes into the wrong hands. Nate and Ray did some research and found out that their new part of this town, that Stag Industries building were new halfway houses of the homeless. If Lex took it, he will use it to build explosives to that new area in that town that Stag Industries are building and destroy it. Lex always thought of himself as a man-turned, but he wanted to buy that land to help the poor and make it a hero himself in the city. Also, ruin Stag Industries. Ray, Nate, James, and Lois need to find those explosives and save Stag from new area Metropolis before Lex destroys it. Can they stop the explosives at times and put Lex behind bars? Only time will tell. Television synopsis: Batman for President. Pitch of the animated movie, genre, action, comedy, mysteries. The synopsis: After 10 years of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman and working with the Justice League for 5 years, finishing another threat, Bruce Wayne is considering retiring, but the Justice League's arch-nemesis Lex Luthor just got a presidential pardon. He was recommended a pardon from the president for his part to take down Darkseid in the Apocalypse. Lex is defected from the villain to hero and helped us take down Darkseid, but the Justice League doesn't trust him. 5 months later, Lex is back running a LexCorp and to run for president. Lex hasn't forgotten his master plan to get rid of Superman and the rest of the Justice League. He was planning for run for president and used his influence to get rid of him for good. He funded Cadmus while he was in prison and still had some government contacts with Amanda Waller. He's been working with Lex. He was been working with Lex while he was in prison. Now he's running for president since Cadmus poisoned the presidential candidate's food, and no way it will ever connect to Cadmus or Luthor. The current president term is over, and he was the supporter of the Justice League. No presidential party wants to run, since Lex and Cadmus already poisoned the party. Presidential candidate. Lex will run unopposed, but Bruce is really upset that Lex is running for president, and when he reads the paper, he has a teleportation device to get to the watchtower. Bruce is warning Clark Kent that the League members that Lex Luthor has access to every law enforcement agencies in this country and all the financial market too. Somebody will run against him, and run against Lex Luthor, but it's Bruce Wayne. Somebody will have to run against him, and the only person who will run against Lex Luthor is Bruce Wayne. And We know Clark Kent can't run because he's ineligible to run since he was born in Krypton, and somebody will put two and two together like Clark Kent and Superman. Besides, Bruce is the only one who can do it. He cares about the country. He's eligible to run. But one problem. Lex or anyone can find out he's Batman. Barry told Bruce that he has nothing to worry about. Lex may be super smart, but not smart enough to find out our secret identities. Besides, John has mind wiped power, can never link Lex to Bruce Wayne as Batman. Bruce announces his candidacy to the running for president of the United States on TV. Lex is upset that Bruce is running. Everyone respects Bruce Wayne, and he is America's favorite son. Lex calls his political advisor to find out dirt on Bruce Wayne. The league will find out there might be a huge meteorite coming into Earth. It might destroy Washington, D.C., even if with Lex's sources they find out Bruce is squeaky clean. Lex knows that he's not stupid, that he might have some dirt on Wayne. So, Waller told Lex that there might be a meteor that might head to Washington, D.C. and might destroy the city. Lex forgotten about digging up some dirt on Bruce. He has an idea. If he can destroy that mirror, they will declare Lex a hero and will win the election in a heartbeat. The meteorite is laced with kryptonite and to kill Superman. This meteorite came from Apocalypse and has Granny's goodness, revenge for League's destroying Darkseid. Granny Goodness is teaming up with Lex Luthor to help him win and make Bruce Wayne look bad. Justice League needs a way to stop the meteorite and figure out the meteorite came from Apocalypse. His work for Lex Luthor make Lex Luthor look like a hero and ruin Bruce Wayne's life. Can the League stop meteorite and stop Lex from winning the presidential race? And Bruce takes his rightful place in history as president of the United States. Only time will tell. Batman Year 1. Bruce Wayne has been sworn as president of the United States and sworn in. Bruce started out his first year as president of the United States. Bruce had to make a tough decision while sitting in the Oval Office that Bruce was a good president and a good man, but Bruce wondered if he could be president and try to survive a whole year. The whole public knows that he's Batman, and he made James Corden his vice president. His son Damian, is taking over his duty as Batman. And James's daughter Barbara is appointed the police commissioner at Gotham City Police Department. Dick Grayson and his partners with Damian as Nightwing engaged to Barbara. Lucius Fox taking over Bruce's duty at Wayne Industries. Only time will tell when Star Labs alerted Superman and the rest of the Justice League that there's a new alien invasion coming to Earth. It is Carter Hall and Kendrick's home planet, Thanagar. They're trying to invade Earth and hijack a nuclear plant in Kuwait. The nuclear plant has draining energy in Kuwait. And the villagers where powers are hurting. They learn electronics. Mostly, Bruce Wayne and the leaders in Kuwait were meeting about the problem and planning to shut down that plant that could destroy Kuwait and other countries. Carter explained to the Justice League that Hero Talak is leading the invasion. Carter and Kendra let the Thanagar army, after they find out their power-hungry Hero Talak will take over this army. They both came down to Earth and started over. Hero is a dictator. He wants to take over planets and wants to invade the Guardians planet. He would have done anything to invade their planet. Superman doesn't know why he's invading Earth. Superman calls Bruce to warn him. Superman arrived in the White House and warned Bruce about the Thanagar. Bruce is Bruce is retired as Batman, but he decided to put the cape on Cal. Decided to put the cape on Cal for one more time. Bruce is going to let Gordon take over for him until he is done with the mission. Batman, Superman, and meets with the rest of the gang and Watchtower with the Flash, Green Arrow, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter, and Hawkman and Hawkgirl. The second they need to find out what they're up to. Bruce did some research on the nuclear power plant in Kuwait that Hero's after. He found out who pitched the nuclear planet to the leaders to Kuwait and got their power and built it here in NORAD to loan them out the nuclear power. It was Talek, who was on Earth 3 years ago and built a hypnotism device to get the world leaders to approve the nuclear plant. Hero and Krager are civilian contractors from NORAD who really are Thanagar military leaders who were disguised NORAD representatives who was planning to use nuclear device to invade the Gordanian plants to destroy them if they don't surrender to them. The nuclear device can destroy Earth. Hero and Krager don't care about it as long as they get the Gordanians to surrender. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the rest of the League can stop them before they destroy Earth and save the Gordanians. Gordanian plan, only time will tell. I'm going to take a breather for a minute. Besides, this is an hour. Another television crossover, The Flash 2004, Arrow meets the Legion of Superheroes. Pitch the CW. The genre action comedy mystery synopsis. Barry and his team got a breach from Star Labs. Somebody from Earth is probably calling them for help, and somebody from another Earth is playing another attack, but it's on the Legion of Superheroes from the future. Mon-El, the exiled prince from Daxam, and leader of the Legion was Gwen Scott, and Imra, who was from Earth 38, needed Barry from Earth 1 to help them out against the Fatal 5. Barry reunited with his friend Wynn from Earth 38. The Fatal 5 are very dangerous. The Fatal 5 are the arch enemy of the Legion. It is led by Emerald Empress. Thorak, Persuader, Validas, and Mano are members of the Fatal 5 and are recruited by the Empress. They called Earth the United Planets, and they want to take over the planet. They always want to thwart the Legion, but they went back in time to Earth 38 in the present to get rid of Superman and Batman, since both of them are the key members of the Justice League. Batman was about to ask who are the Justice League. Wanted to ask about who are the Justice League. Mono figured out that Batman and Superman were recruited other superheroes to fight against evil aliens and metahumans attacking Earth. The Justice League was the main inspiration of the Legion. Without the League, the Legion wouldn't exist. Anyway, they took down other superheroes, including Batman and Superman, in Earth 38. Cisco even asked, are they dead? Winslow told him not yet, but they are that close to fading in the existence of the realm. We needed Team Flash, Team Arrow, and your Superman and Batman to help us save them. Cisco decided to help them out, so Cisco decided to call in the Team Flash and Team Arrow and Batman and Superman from Earth 1 to head to Star Labs. Mon-El and Wynn already gave the short summary why they're here and where the Fatal 5 are. Barry remembers Mon-El and Wynn, figure out a way to save Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent from Earth 38. Laser Ring gives us not only time travel, but also reaches into other Earths. Caitlin is asking, why does the Fatal 5 want to kill your Superman and Batman? Wow. Well, when gave him a brief future readings, they are responsible for creating a superhero team, or like the army, to protect the alien invaders. They're called the Justice League, and Batman and Superman are the two guys who helped found the team league. Without the league, they're there would be no Legion of Superheroes, and Clark from Earth 1 said that we could take care of ourselves, but Mon-El told them they are going to go back in time again, and when they're defenseless. Bruce tells them again they're going back in time to kill us when they're defenseless. Brainiac, Lex, and the Joker even teamed up together back in time to kill our younger selves, but I guess history repeats itself. Clark tells Bruce this time it's different. We're from Earth 1 and our counterparts from Earth 38. Luckily we stopped them from being existent, and we can stop them. Team Arrow and Team Flash and Superman and Batman from Earth 1 decided to go to Earth 38 in the past to save our younger selves. They're gonna need they're gonna need help. Superman calls Supergirl from Earth 1, and she just finished her training in the fortress. She's ready to go to Earth 38. There is no Cat Media in Earth 1, but we did give her a job in Barry White's assistant and Daily Plan for a year before she settled in, and with Lois Sullivan giving her a civilian identity and a background called Kara Kent. All of them head to Earth 38. The two teams split up and traveled to the past before Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne were helpless, so Team Arrow and Bruce Wayne from Earth 1 will head to Gotham and stop Thorak, Persuader, and Aladdin from stop younger Bruce Wayne from traveling abroad and start his training on as a war and crime. This time we'll take young Bruce out before he becomes Batman. Emerald Empress and Mono went back in time as Clark. Emerald Empress has kryptonite to take him out. Do you think Team Arrow and Team Flash and Superman, Batman, and Supergirl from Earth 1 could stop the Fatal 5 for the future, or changes? Only time will tell. Man. Oh boy, I'm so tired. The Guardian meets Green Lantern, pitch to the WCW. Genre of action, comedy, mystery. Synopsis. James Olsen is the editor-in-chief at Catco Media and part-time CEO of the company. His friend Hal Jordan is friends with Super Clark Kent and Daily Planet. That's how James and Hal knew each other. Anyway, Hal called James because there's a rogue lantern loose in Coast City and he needs his help. He read about the Guardian, coming out was a good mood. He can use your help. James decided to go to Coast City and help Hal. Hal is a test pilot for Ferris Airlines and is recruited for the Green Lantern Corps. And James heads to Coast City and meets Hal and Ferris Airlines and explains why he needs his help. His mentor in friendship, Sinestro, got greedy and power hungry, and he wants to take over the Green Lantern Corps. He imprisons some of the Green Lanterns here in Coast City. Just ask why he imprisoned them. I'll explain that they refused his obligation to take over the role and used their power for greed and control. He's planning on killing the rest of the Green Lantern Corps and took their rings. One of them tried to warn me about Sinestro's plan, but he was killed and gave me a second ring. James asked, "Why didn't you call me? Why do you call me? If you have him called Clark to help you out?" He told him you were not his first choice from another planet. Clark recommended you to help me out. I read about Guardian's accomplishments, and I could use your help. James was upset at first, but I get that he was the second choice, but Al called him and decided to help him out. Al informed that we have a way to find where Sinestro is holding the Lantern Corp, and he informed Hal that Sinestro is building a device that can operate to take over the world and crush the world leaders. James put his Guardian suit on, and I'll put the power ring on and transforms him as the Green Lanterns. They start searching for the Lanterns where Sinestro is hiding them and find the device that Sinestro will take over the world. And he took the Lantern rings. James flashed back in the first day of the Daily Planet, how he met Clark and found out he was Superman, and why Clark asked him to go to National City to help car becomes Supergirl. Can James and Hal find the other lantern ring and stop Sinestro from using the device that can help him take over the role? Only time will tell. Alright, I'm going to give myself a breather a minute. Before I start reading another part, the reason why we're doing this to show you about what I was working on for a long time. I want to get your opinion to see if any of you guys believe that this thing can be on TV or in movies. Well, Warner Brothers owns the rights to these series, but it doesn't mean we can't come up with ideas or plans. That's one thing about fan fiction. You can write anything you want about what you want, or about what you wish could happen or could happen. Television crossover, Gotham alternate series finale pitched to Fox. Genre, action, comedy, mystery. It has been 10 years since Bruce Wayne returned home. Bruce went to Nanda Parbat to start his training on his war and crime. Bruce flashes back on his training. He got to meet Master Uru, who knew Thomas Wayne. They went to college together and also trained Ra's al Ghul before he went rogue and formed the League of Shadows. Formed his league, the League of Shadows. Hero felt bad that he failed him. But Ra's was never worthy because I knew there was darkness inside of him. So Uru was worthy because I knew there was a darkness inside him. Was worthy because I knew there was dark inside of him. So Uru was reluctant to train Bruce after Ra's, but Bruce begs for his help, and Gotham's gonna get worse. You need to save it. You decided to help him. You decided to help him and train him in Heroes Dojo. Bruce trained really hard for 10 years. Not only was he training martial arts, he also trained him to be a good escape artist. Also learned to hone his craft. Bruce also dreams in darkness that he saw his future, and bats were flying around the room, and he told Uru, but he needs something to give out fear to criminals and the lead. Uru explained to him that he just found what criminals are scared of. Bruce started for training 10 years and learning how to deal with criminals, and traveled to other countries to learn about how to stop the criminal elite. After 10 years was over and grown up, Bruce returned to Gotham and reunited with Alfred. James Gordon is retiring as a commissioner, and he's going to make an appearance at Wayne Tower before he retires. Bruce doesn't want him to retire because he might need him someday. Bruce did find a cave underneath the mansion, decided to use it as his lair and start creating the Batsuit. Teaming with Alfred and Lucius form a team to help him become what Gotham needs, a dark savior. Bruce starts returning to Wayne Enterprises and takes over the company with all outstanding shares that he owns, and runs the company and appoints Lucius as his president of Wayne Enterprises and make it an honest company. His first day as Batman, he stops Edward Nygma and Oswald Cobblepot, the Kid the Riddler, and the Penguin from terrorizing Gotham. Jeremiah Vasca, who has just become the Joker, he reunites with Selina and set her straight and return the necklace. Bruce helped clear Harvey Bullock's name, and with James Gordon and Alfred Pennyworth sees Bruce dressed as Batman with a searchlight as Batman just cleaned up the crime and corruption in the city. And Wayne Enterprise is doing well. Since Gordon is police commissioner. Batman is off limits, and he's a civilian consultant for the GCPD. First, GCPD thought of Batman as a vigilante, and now he's an ally to the member of the GCPD. The back signal Batman on top of the rooftop with Catwoman as her new partner. Swinging through the rooftop to start their new mission, James Gordon starts summoning him. The Big Bang Theory is alternate series finale. Television crossover, The Big Bang Theory alternate series finale, pitched to CBS. Genre, action, comedy, mystery. Synopsis. Sheldon Cooper and Amy Farrah Fowler are headed to Stockholm, Sweden to win the Nobel Prize, with Teen Leonard and or the social group as their guests. Leonard and Penny have good news that she is pregnant, and Howard and Bernadette and Roger coming to Stockholm. Roger is sitting next to a celebrity, and it's Sarah Michelle Gellar on the plane. Sheldon was still his arrogant self, and he wanted everyone to focus on himself, not Leonard's pregnancy, since they told everyone on the plane, even though Penny doesn't want Sheldon, but it came out in the moment and realized she really does want this kid. She was like Bernadette, they both didn't want Sheldon because of how they were raised. Mostly Bernadette didn't want to have kids. If Howard's mother was around and looks after them and ruin Howard's, she ruined Howard's life, like he ruined her and he didn't want their kids. He didn't want to ruin her grandkids' life too. Penny could be a better parent, like a fun parent, like Leonard. At the hotel, I thought Sheldon was going to apologize, but he made it worse and never wanted to congratulate them because of his having a child would have ruined their evening. Leonard had enough, and he and Penny are leaving. Howard and Bernadette want to leave because an emergency at home, but they want to get away from Sheldon. Amy sets Sheldon straight and realizes that they only tolerate him because they're friends. But Sheldon doesn't know that Leonard is his only friend, and the rest of the game came with the package. If Leonard wasn't here, they would have been gone too. Sheldon was acting like an arrogant jerk. He never apologized a lot of times. A long time ago, he was acting like a arrogant jerk and never apologized about his behavior. Sheldon started to change later years and apologize for being a jerk, but history repeats itself. He doesn't want to lose his friends. Besides, without the Nobel Prize, he's nothing without them. Raj told the gang while he wasn't on the plane that I invited Sarah Michelle Gellar as a guest for the Nobel Prize committee. He didn't want to tell Sheldon, and their secret is safe with them. Luckily, the gang got to meet Sarah in the lobby and became friends with her. Sarah recognizes Penny from the serial Epis 2 movie, a good fan of hers. Penny told her that she's done acting, and she had her 5 minutes of fame. Sarah was offered a lot of movie roles. She could recommend her agent if I could find a part for her. If you want to go back to the business, Penny's the whole thing about it. Amy and Sheldon were awarded the Nobel Prize and thanked his family and friends. He was proud of Leonard and Penny for having a kid, and Leonard was right. The baby will be beautiful and smart. The epilogue next year in 2020. Leonard's book that he wrote years ago was finished and gave it to a published company. Leonard didn't think it would be published or it was a bestseller. And Leonard won a Nobel Prize for literature with Penny and his son Lenny Jr. The rest of the gang were watching, and Penny decided to go back to acting business and do a movie star Michelle Gellar. On Leonard's book, it was a box office hit. The next year, Howard and Burnett moved to Houston, where Howard was offered to work in the head of R&D in NASA with a 5-figure salary. And Burnett will still make a 6 to 7-figure salary since they can telecommute with a pharmaceutical company. They have a company in Houston. Roger's still chasing women and trying to find his true love and keep feeling. He still works in Caltech as astronomer and also works on the planetarium. But Sheldon and Amy still works have had tech with Roger, and both of them are heads of research, still making a 6-figure salary. Stuart and Denise, they finally sold their comic book writing to Marvel Comics for a new superhero they want to publish. And he and Denise sold a comic book store in Pasadena and moved to New York to start a new superhero series in New York City. A new potential spin-off in the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang television crossover, the Big Bang Theory potential spin-off, Stuart Bloom theory, pitch at CBS, genre, action, comedy, mystery synopsis. Give myself a breather. A spin-off of the Big Bang Theory focuses on Team Leonard's friend and member, Stuart Bloom, and his girlfriend Denise, who sold his comic idea to Marvel to light a new superhero. Marvel to light a new superhero who is electrical and powerful superhero who's got his powers by accident by shocking himself and bought it with a lot of money. Marvel got the light, developed into a movie, and greenlit to start filmmaking in a year. Stewart is in charge of the comic book idea, and the guy who represents Stan Lee is Milton Raleigh, who is the president of Marvel, is the one who bought Stewart's comic book and wants him to move to New York City to start writing the comic book ideas. And comic book ideas from the light. While there, he started a new entourage since he's now successful. First is Roland Glass, a nerdy guy, comes Stewart's manager, and who was a friend of Roland since they were 5 and grew up in Queens, New York. Alex is an Indian American who comes from a mixed race, with his father's white and his mother is Indian. And Roland helps Alex get him a job as his personal driver. Kaya Gerber is an attractive heir to the Gerber toothpaste company and is a trust from that. And his father will tell her either get a job or she'll be cut off. So Stuart lives next door to her apartment and offers her a job as an accountant and a money manager. She has an MBA from Columbia University. Kai is a party girl with a heart of gold. Stuart has a crush on her, but mostly he usually ends up striking out with a lot of girls. But since Stuart has a girlfriend, that is out of the question. That's out of the picture. Man, I'm so tired. While starting earning money for his comic book idea, one thing stands his way is Matthew Cooper. Matthew Cooper is Stuart's rival, works as a comic book artist, and puts down Stuart every day with his lame comic book idea. Matthew is Sheldon's cousin, who is an arrogant, childish, antagonistic like he is. Matthew is trying to sabotage Stuart's comic book so he can get his comic book off the idea of the ground. He was an ex-physicist at MIT to pursue his dream of selling his comic book, but he was too arrogant and selfish to realize his comic book things. Raleigh was been hearing him whine all day so he can give him a job. Mostly, Raleigh usually turns down Cooper's idea, and the reason why he got him a job at Marvel Comics because he's his son. Cooper is Riley's biological father and found out he was his son when he visited him from MIT while he was in college. One of the main reasons why Cooper wants to sell his comic book idea to make sure Stewart's comic idea sinks to swim So we'll see who stays or leaves. Pitching this idea to Warner Brothers. Genre teens and adults, ages 12 to 35. TV sequel movie idea. Movie off idea. It's Smallville Year 7. Smallville Year 7. Lex Luthor has announced that he was running for president in 2013, but he decides to run in 2018 to make the front runner so easily. He was running against Martha Kent Clark's mother. The story is told by Lois Lane Kent and Clark Kent telling their story of their son Jason. Lex has foiled by Superman a lot of times. He lost a lot of money on his schemes, and he was in and out of jail for a few times. But this time, he beat the system. He decided to get his revenge on Superman running for president, and this time, he will find a way to ruin his life for good. Clark Kent, who's been in Superman for 7 years, is married to Lois Lane. They're about to renew her vows soon. Lois has a surprise alert that she is pregnant, but we found out Lex won the election, and he is elected president. He is also running a lot of stories for the Daily Planet, and since everyone's badmouthed, and since everyone is badmouthing, Clark and Lois figure out that he rigged the election and found the hypnotizing device that makes everyone bend to his will. You better find that device and send it to the feds to arrest Lex. And they also have a bigger problem to deal with. A huge comet that's deadly heading to Earth. Lex made a speech that he has a device to destroy. Clark gets Justice League buddies, including Oliver Queen, Chloe Sullivan, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Victor Stone, Diana Prince, and Arthur Curry to find a way to stop the device as a danger. Now they can't stop the comet. Lex figures out about Veritas and wants revenge for Clark for ruining his life since he found out he knows Clark is Superman. Dr. Millen found out Lex's device is dangerous that can't stop the comet. Lex figured out about Veritas and wants revenge for Clark for ruining his life, since he found out he knows his secret that Clark is Superman. Millen is building a device that could destroy the comet and hits Earth. Before it hits Earth, and millions of people will die. Lex's team will win Scott, Count Vorrigan, and the Joker to get rid of the Justice League by building robots to destroy them. As for the comet, Lex built a huge fallout shelter that can protect millions of people. He only has a selection of few to survive. The comet has green radiation like kryptonite that can kill Superman when it hits Earth. Lex is looking forward to this. Can Superman and his team destroy the comet and get Lex Luthor impeached from office? Get his mother elected in the White House? Only time will tell. Bonus TV, Arrowverse crossover, Gotham meets Smallville. Well, right now I'm gonna give myself a breather, so I'm gonna put the camera back on me for a minute. Right now, these are crossover events that we wish we could have on life. You know, it's kind of tough to pitch ideas to a producer or a director or a Hollywood executive because most of they usually turn us down. You know, it's a tough market out there for little guys like me. Selling an idea is kind of tough. Selling an idea is kind of tough for little guys like me. Like my Mr. Riley book or my Three Princes series book. You know how tough it is to sell that to traditional publishers or Amazon? No, it isn't. It's never easy. It's never easy for me. One thing they have in common, just like Joe Biden does, he's lobbying right now just to get Roe versus Wade back into a law and make sure it's protected. I think we're creating a new law, and right now we need the Senate to vote yes. And right now they're not going to vote for anything right now until after the midterm election. And right now we're going to need 60 senators in the Democrat office to win. That's the only way. That's the only way they can win. Hey, me something. And believe me, it's not easy winning an election. It's not easy trying to get 60 Democratic senators on board. You know, there are 50 states, but getting 60 senators on board is going to be tough. And there's also the Senate Majority Leader and the Senator Minority Leader. They're the ones who are in charge of the Senates, U.S. Senates. The only way you can become a member of the Senate Majority Leader unless you are elected in. They don't just get, they don't, the president doesn't appoint a Senate Majority Leader. You have to be elected in. Mostly in statewide election, mostly in state politicians, mostly you have to be elected to get in office, not just governors or mayors, but also mostly well, take like the attorney general, U.S. state attorney general. You have to be elected in that office to be a state attorney general, or like a DA or any other members. Even if even if the governor or the mayor has a cabinet staff, I think either they have to be elected or be appointed in. That's really kind of tough. That's really kind of tough to do a lot of times. Trying to get elected. One thing about being president or being governor, you have to make a lot of tough decisions all the time. And these decisions will affect you for a lifetime. So the real question is, can it be done? You know, can we get 60 Democratic senators in the seat? And can the Republicans, can the Democrats take over the House and the Senate? Real question is, that is tough to do. There are some senators that are up for re-election, but as for congressmen, all of them are up for re-election right now. It's really kind of tough to do a lot of times when you're president. or when you're a politician. We don't just tell look. A lot of people say politicians lie. They don't. Real question is, can we? Real question is, we can tell the truth. The real problem is that we don't know what we're gonna do. We can promise a lot of stuff, but I don't think we can deliver. Even if you're even if you're Joe Biden, he can promise a lot of stuff too that we can give. They can give to the people, but he can't because he doesn't even know how to get it. That's one thing about politicians. We could say about what we can promise, but we're not going to deliver it because we don't know how to get it or want it. It's like being Superman by president. We could promise them a lot of stuff. But the question is that the only way we can do that is unless we pitch to the school. The only way they can do that, the only way if when a student body president gets elected, he has to pitch the ideas to the school board and see if they want to do it. But mostly the school boards, he's the one who makes the decisions about what they want, what the school can want, what they can give them, what they can get to the school. And that's a tough decision to make. That's one thing about being elected office. When you're, because we don't know if we can deliver. But one thing about running for one thing I always learned, if you're gonna do something, make sure you do it right, and make sure you tell them one thing. Is listen to the people what they want to hear, listen to the people what they want, but tell them you'll do what you can. You will try. We will pitch the ideas to the Congress and the Senate, and I will make sure the law will get that. I can't give it to you, but we will try to get it for you. That's the one thing we can do right now. Is that we try to do everything we can. Because the midterm election is our major event we're talking about here. There are other major events. People are talking about. Right now, it's October, Halloween. Trick or treating, and mostly there are a lot of sporting events. Take like in Thanksgiving, the biggest sporting event in Thanksgiving is the football game. After everybody comes back for dinner and watches the game. Well, if anyone wants to talk about it, I will read another passage right now. Like I said, I'm giving myself a breather right now. I have no idea if anybody's watching. It's really kind of late night. Well, you can leave your comments aboard. I know I'm kind of boring right now, but at least we're trying to do everything we can. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is tough. I'm trying to make an hour. I'm trying to make 1 hour here. Trying to do a 1 hour video. And believe me, there's not a lot to talk about in 1 hour. But I'm doing everything I can to figure out what to do and figure out what to say. If anybody's watching right now, give me your opinion about all my pitches. About all my pitches right here. This is about my fan fiction idea book that I wrote in Amazon. I was wanting to know if anyone would love to read it and kind of give their opinions if they want to see it on the silver screen anytime soon or on television or live stream. That's a tough thing to do in real life. It's about can anyone do it? All right, I got another. All right, I'm gonna read another fan fiction idea, and give me your opinion. Gotham television crossover. Gotham meets Smallville. Pitch to Fox. Genre: action, comedy, mystery. Synopsis: young Bruce Wayne is in Smallville while his company sent him to open a tech factory in town. Where it came to create a lot of jobs in Smallville. Smallville High had a field trip where young Bruce Wayne runs into young Clark Kent and Chloe Sullivan. All three of them became friends, but someone in the Luthor Corp is tampering with one of the pipes and start a fire. Clark's powers almost fully developed and has an X-ray vision, and it was seeing somebody starting a fire in the factory, and the fire spreading. The arsonists around already. They already vacated the factory. Clark rescued everybody out of the fire and get everyone out of the factory. Clark told Bruce that somebody was tampering with one of your wire pipes in the factory. Clark might think Bruce has some enemies. Bruce made friends with Chloe and Clark and has a rental house where he's staying in Smallville, but Bruce invited them and made friends with Alfred. Bruce needs to do some investigating. Chloe and Clark want to help, but Bruce was reluctant at first, but he needs all the help he can get. They work in Bruce's den, and Chloe checked out Luthor Corp was making a bid for the factory before Wayne Enterprise outbids them. Bruce might figure out that Lex Luthor's father, Lionel, might be involved. Bruce remembers Lex and Lionel. Lionel was friends with his parents, but his parents didn't trust Lionel and never made any deals with him. He wanted to take over Wayne Enterprises, but Thomas blocked that takeover, and Lionel been holding a grudge ever since. Somebody from the Luthor Corp might want to kill Bruce. Clark was friends with Lex once he saved his life. Lex was always jealous of Clark. He wants to uncover his secret and wants to kill him. Bruce figured out that he's not from Earth and saw his powers up close. Clark asked Bruce if he wants to stay in the farm until we find the assassin. Bruce accepted and made friends with Clark's parents, who was Jonathan and Martha Kent, who are good people. Lionel and Lex hired Otis, who was an assassin, to start the fire in the factory. America break the contract from Wayne Enterprises and get the factory contract and lease them and make him enough fortune. And Bruce, Clark, and Chloe and stop Otis from burning the rest of the factory and put away Lex and Lionel behind bars. Only time will tell. Other idea. Pitch this idea to Warner Brothers. Genre: teens and adults, ages 12 and 35. TV sequel movie idea. Supergirl crossover with Arrow and The Flash. Supergirl crossover with Arrow and Flash. Cisco communicate with Kara Danvers from Earth 38, and Team Flash needs her help. Carla teleported to Central City from Earth 1 and heads off to Star Labs. Kara reunites with Barry, Iris, Caitlin, and Cisco, including Dr. Wells from Earth 2. Barry informed Kara that there is a Kryptonian spaceship landed in Central City 39 or 40 years ago. We fished that out from a ship. Fished out that ship from Central City Bay while they were fighting metahumans. They called her out here because she needs to see this. They want to see the Kryptonian that landed on Earth 1 to find out that it is Kara's doppelganger from Earth 1. Kara never understood why there's another her on Earth. Barry never had a chance to tell her, but he knew her cousin, who was from Earth 1 before he came to Earth 38, National City. He worked with Clark while fixing Toy Man when he came to Central City, investigating some explosions in toy stores. Kara was upset and asked why he never informed about another Clark on Earth 1. Barry told her that she never asked about him. Understood that saw other her, and she's only 11 years old. Cisco did some research on this Kryptonian. It was destroyed in 1987. Clark didn't come to Earth while he was 1 year old, but he was nearly 2 years to get him here. Barry informed Clark about you and your doppelganger by New York. He's arrived from Central City Batter. Once he also informed that we found her finding a metahuman with the sonic airwaves. Cisco called him and the Sonic Man, and this metahuman is an eco-terrorist who wants to flood Central City and the people, destroying the environment. When the Flash stopped him and stopped the Sonic Man. Luckily, Team Flash stopped him and sent the park and sees a spaceship. Barry and his team send it to Star Labs, and the spaceship is different than I seen. It does have a Superman S on it. It means the ship is Kryptonian. They open the show it to Kara Danvers, stop looking her from Earth 1. She looks like the same Kara. Barry and his friend met Kara while working against the monitors. And Daxon Mines. Barry and Kara. It was National City in Earth 38. Alright, I'm going to stop right there. That's all I have to say right now. That's all I have to say right now, and I want to give you the gist idea. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but if I were you, you should read this book, or buy it. Whatever. This is Bobby Cinema. Goodbye, and good luck.